Hey, welcome back, monkeys.
Hey.
Today we're talking about innovation. Innovate or die.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is the title of our show. So today what we're going to do is talk about a few companies that are dying and a few companies that aren't.
Retailers in particular, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the controversy happened about a week and a half ago. Might be a little longer by the time you watch this show. Toys R Us declares bankruptcy.
Yeah. Toys R Us, the big toy store from our childhood.
Yeah, the one that basically destroyed all the others. FAO Schwartz, gone.
Yep.
KB Toys, gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really their own fault. You know, it is a lack of innovation.
Sure.
Toys R Us did not believe in the internet. They got Amazon to do their fulfillment for them. Big mistake. Never get a competitor or any other company to do your fulfillment for you. Yeah, like Toys R Us. It's tragic.
Yeah. Sort of what Barnes & Noble did with the Amazon as well. But yeah, Toys R Us, they blew their big advantage, which was being a brick and mortar giant. They had an installed base of brick and mortar stores all across the country.
Yeah.
And that made them an ideal destination.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They wasted that opportunity. They could have used those destinations to set up I don't know, like Lincoln Log destinations or, Lego destinations or whatever, in-store branding opportunities, in-store merchandising opportunities, right?
Yeah, and the issue...
Be the go-to place to make your birthday, special by tying it in with their merchandise.
Yeah. The problem with Toys R Us, and this has been a problem for years, as a former Toysaholic and toy collector, I'd go to Toys R Us all the time. But then Walmart started carrying the same popular brands of toys that most collectors collect. And so did Target. So all those new Star Wars action figures, if you're into it, you can get them $3 cheaper or $2 cheaper or $1 cheaper at Walmart. And Toys R Us basically said, well, we're Toys R Us. People will come to us because we have the broader selection of toys and collectibles.
Right.
Well,
but if they had become a destination store, they would have had the edge over the Walmarts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but they did not.
Right.
Between that and Amazon coming along and basically saying, okay, you can get your toys now here cheaper.
Right.
The bottom line is exactly that. The bottom line.
Plus, ship it to you free. Yeah.
Yeah. Depending upon what I'm purchasing, as much as I am anti-Walmart, I will still go to Walmart because a buck is a buck is a buck.
If you're going to compete on price, you'll lose every time to the Walmarts of the world.
Yes, you will. You will. And that's a huge topic for me, being a former pizzaiolo and a former chef. Being in that industry, the one thing you don't want to compete is on price. You want to compete on value.
Right.
What is the value of your product versus the price of your product? Well, we use better ingredients. Well, we use better toppings. Well, we use better cheese. If you compete with the Little Caesars and the Pizza Huts, you will lose. You have to compete on value. Well, Toys R Us didn't bring any value. Okay, we sell toys. They didn't make themselves a destination. What is the value of walking into Toys R Us? Aside from the fact that the kids are in a candy store and their eyes are going, mama, 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 papa, buy me this, buy me this, buy me that. That's not value. That's an enormous...
Well, that's what I'm suggesting, that, hey, innovate so that you can capitalize on your value and knock it out of the park so that people will pony up extra dollars.
I went into Michael's Crafts the other day. I was buying some art supplies. And I had a coupon, which is great because they send me coupons all the time. And it's usually a significant coupon. It's like 50% off one regularly priced item. So I'll go and I'll use that for one item. I'll maximize that value. But the other value I saw was they have a room, a craft room, right up in front by the registers with windows where people can see in. And they had like a birthday party or something, a craft party going on in there. And that's something that, Toys R Us will throw these come build a Lego figure things on Saturday. But it's for like 2 hours. They did not maximize that. They could have gotten into like throwing parties, becoming Party City. You will throw a Star Wars themed party for you. The new Star Wars toys are coming out, and then all the kids leave, and all the kids, when the party's over, the parents are picking them up. Then all the kids are, I want the new lightsaber.
Right.
Okay, we'll buy you one while we're here. You're here. You've got a captive audience.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And they're primed.
And they're primed for purchasing.
I want the new R2-D2.
Yeah.
But Mom, we're here.
Yeah.
Look, Mom, it's right there.
The other issue with Toys R Us is their website and their online purchasing sucks. It's like McDonald's owns the Dollar Coke. Amazon owns the retailer cart. You're competing against Amazon, so why are you not designing your website and your cart to mimic Amazon's? Ease of use, ease of searchability. I've gone to certain retailers online, and I've essentially given up and bought the thing on Amazon just because it's easy for me to find the product.
I know how Amazon works.
Yeah. It's easy to find the product. I know how they work. I'm comfortable with them. I go to a website to try and find something and I can't get it. I know they have it in stock. I've called the store. Well, you'll get it $2 cheaper if you order it online, which is another thing that's like, it blows my brain. It's like, really? I drive out to your store to pick up the product physically, and you're telling me I'll get a better discount if I purchase it online?
Yeah.
I understand how it works. You don't have to pay an employee. You don't have to pay the light bill. I get it. But at the same time, I am your customer. You should honor that price in the store.
Aren't these employees hammering the nails on their own coffin?
Essentially, yeah.
Like, are you giving yourself a pink slip?
Yeah. Well, the companies are. Because it's like you're penalizing somebody for physically coming into your store.
Exactly.
So you're saying
that's exactly what you're doing.
So you're saying that you don't want to actually serve people physically. You just want to be Amazon pre Whole Foods purchase.
You're not going to take care of me?
Yeah.
Like.
So yeah. This is why we're talking about this today, folks, because these retailers, they need to innovate or they're going to die.
Right.
Penalizing someone, wanting someone, trying to direct your traffic into purchasing online versus purchasing in the stores is a mistake.
This doesn't just go for retailers, guys. This goes for media companies. It goes for entrepreneurs. Yeah. It goes for service-based companies as well.
Yeah, because honestly, it's not about the widget. It's not about the product.
Okay? It's about service.
Yeah. Which again, we've talked about this in a previous show, the death of customer service in America. It goes to that.
I hate to hammer on the same subject over and over again. It's not that we have no other ideas, guys. It's that this is so important. It's a recurring theme.
Well, and all of these shows are interweaved with one another. We're not focusing on service so much in this episode, but it is still a factor. It's still an element that goes into why these companies are dying. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Yeah, I guess we can move on.
Toys R Us is the first. Kmart and Sears. And this relates directly to the big elephant of the show, which is Amazon. Amazon purchasing Whole Foods. And the issue is that realistically, Amazon's going down the same road as Sears. Okay, little history and trivia, 30-second trivia, kids. Sears Roebuck started out as a catalog company. Way back in the day. Google it. I'm not going to go into all...
100 years ago. Yeah,
I'm not going to go into all the details. That eventually turned into a store that eventually died because they did not innovate with Amazon and the advent of the internet. They basically said, well, people aren't going to want to buy products online. Well, you kind of lost your entire founding concept. You were a warehouse store Well, people aren't going to want to come to the store, and then people did. So then you cleaned up your act and you became prettier, and people did. And then people stopped because the internet came along and people were like, well, you can have products delivered to my front door. Why do I go to a store? And they thought, well, they'll still want to come to the store. Sears, Woolworths, Marshall Fields, Venture, Service Merchandise. I can keep listing companies that have died because of that mentality, that lack of innovation. If nobody's coming to your store to buy your product, you got to figure out how to bring your product to them. And that's what Amazon did. But unfortunately now, they're going to go down the same road.
Right.
Because they're trying to brick and mortar it. And I don't understand the concept. Why did Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, buy Whole Foods? And what's he going to do with it? Okay, Whole Foods is whole paycheck. I don't shop there because a bag of groceries costs me like $150. One bag of groceries. It's high end. It's for the foo-foo people who drive Porsches and go to the spa every day. God bless you for making money. No, I'm not bitter. Just a little bit.
I'm not a conspicuous consumer.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but I don't bet against guys like Bezos because he sees things coming that I don't see, and I'll give him his props on that. But isn't it interesting that Amazon bought Whole Foods? It wasn't the other way around. The newer company is eating the older company. Amazon bought Whole Foods. Well, it wasn't Whole Foods that bought Amazon.
I don't know the history of Whole Foods. Whole Foods came into our area about 5-10 years ago. I don't know how old of a company Whole Foods is.
I'm just saying it's an older company than Amazon.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't do the research on that.
And interestingly, Amazon is a company that's built on debt.
Yeah.
Amazon has yet to turn a profit. So based on its fundamentals, Amazon is not a company that should be able to buy a Whole Foods.
Yeah,
but based on its capitalization, based on its market cap, it does.
Yeah,
because
but that's
it's got an insane stock price.
But that's the weird thing that I don't get. Okay, I worked for a company called Mariano's. Mariano's grocery stores, which if you live in the Chicago area, you're familiar with. If you're outside the Chicago area, maybe not. But they gobbled up a giant called Dominick's. Dominick's went out of business, and Dominick's was like Kmart and Walmart and Sears. There were two big grocery store giants. It was Jewel versus Dominick's. It's like South Side Chicago, White Sox versus Cubs. Okay. Jewel survived, Dominick's didn't. So Mariano's buys up Dominick's, and they're expanding the same way. They're blowing up, expanding on debt. Betting that the fact that eventually they're going to catch up. I don't understand these moves. And again, like you said, you said you wouldn't bet against Jeff Bezos, but he partnership with Kohl's where they could return Amazon items at Kohl's. Is he going to buy Kohl's? I don't understand his logic. Why didn't he buy Sears? Why didn't he buy... If he wanted brick and mortars, why buy Whole Foods?
I don't know. The answer is I don't know because I'm not inside his head. But,
right. I mean, we're both speculating because I'm wondering, is he going to go the way of Walmart? Is he going to turn Whole Foods into superstores? And compete against Walmart? Because I think he's after Walmart. I honestly think Walmart is his prime competition. Because it is. I mean, if you're competing on price, it's Amazon or Walmart.
I don't disagree with you. I certainly do think that Walmart is his competitor on many levels. Yeah. Certainly, Walmart's online sales are very impressive. I don't have those data right at my fingertips, but Walmart competes in the online world. A significant portion of Walmart's sales, and I don't have this data, but I should have looked up their online sales as a percentage of their gross sales.
Yeah.
But I know that Walmart has been increasing their online sales steadily over the years.
Yeah.
And initially, it came late to the internet. Walmart came late to the internet, just like, I mean, God, Microsoft missed the internet entirely.
Yeah.
Microsoft missed mobile.
Yeah.
You know, so Microsoft came late to the internet. Microsoft came late to mobile. You know, and a lot of companies are late to mobile now. So
yeah, and a lot of companies.
But the internet is eating up the world.
Yeah.
And mobile is eating up the world, and there are so many American companies in particular that are late to that party.
Well, it goes.
Asian companies have been eating up that market for years. Mm-hmm. Asian companies get it. There's no hesitation on their part. They're active in it, and they're leading the pack.
Do you have an example of an
These are playing catch up. Sorry?
Do you have an example of an Asian company that you could cite as an example that's doing that?
I don't have Asian companies, but I can tell you that you look at India, and everybody in India has a mobile phone connected to the internet.
Yeah.
You look at everybody in Japan, everybody in Japan has a mobile phone connected to the internet.
Yeah.
And in those markets alone, these people have more sophisticated smartphones than we do.
Yeah. And there are companies like Google who just put out the Pixel, their first smartphone. Or the Pixel 2, maybe it's their second version at this point. But that are doing just that. They're innovating because they're no longer just a software search engine. You know, again, you can't just say this is all we're going to do, because eventually somebody's going to do it better, quicker, faster, and they're going to put you out of business.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you've got search engines that are basically barcode scanners. You've got search engines that are voice activated. You've got search engines that are picture activated, and they recognize products based on a photograph.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
Yeah. I mean, innovation like that is exactly what Netflix has done. You know, Netflix put Blockbuster out of business. You know, now they're being targeted. You know, and that was another show. We talked about that in another show. But it's you got to change with the times.
But, you know, you've got big businesses and you've got small businesses that are saying things like, "But my customers are not on Facebook." But my customers are not on Instagram. And this is the same exact rationale that Netflix used to put Blockbuster out of business with. Because people at Blockbuster sat in a room and said things like, our data shows that people like going to our stores.
Yeah.
They like opening the DVD boxes, and they like reading the descriptions of the titles.
Yeah.
They enjoy the serendipity of possibly running into their neighbors in the stores.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and your dad is
and then this is the real doozy. They like picking up popcorn on the way out.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, I mean, who can argue with that kind of market research?
Well, but Blockbuster also built their business on debt. They built their business on, well, people are going to be late, so we're going to charge them late fees.
Oh, God.
You know, because people are lazy.
I mean, that is just asking. That is an industry that is asking to be disrupted.
Yeah.
That's begging
Yeah.
for a young upstart company to come in and eat their lunch.
Yeah.
And those of you who are entrepreneurs out there who want to know how to disrupt and spoil the day of an entrenched company, take notes.
Yeah.
On companies like Blockbuster.
Well, watch what's going on very carefully right now. Watch what's going on with Toys R Us. Toys R Us has had 7 nails in the coffin for a decade. They just haven't known it. You know, they're like, oh, we're the last toy store around. Well, that's what FAO Schwarz and KB Toys wanted to be.
This is what happens when
they've gone the way of the dodo.
They get comfortable.
Yeah, but you know, bouncing back to the Toys R Us issue, the other issue with them that they don't realize is their vendors. They've literally pissed on Mattel. They've pissed on Jakks Pacific. They've pissed on Hasbro, who owns the Star Wars license. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to say. I say owns because they have secured that license since 1970, you know, since the 70s or the 80s. I think Mattel originally had it, but since Mattel let it go, Hasbro has basically said we're never giving up the Star Wars license because it's printing money.
Yeah.
And now the major distributor in the United States declares bankruptcy on them and says we're not going to pay you. Well, but we shipped all these toys to you in good faith. Well, I'm sorry, we're filing for bankruptcy. Granted, I don't know the details, whether it's Chapter 7 bankruptcy, Chapter 11, whether they're restructuring, working on a financing plan. Sure. I would imagine it's 11 or 13, because if they went Chapter 7 on Hasbro, they might as well close the doors. Oh, and I was driving by Toys R Us the other day, and I saw a big "we're hiring" sign on the front, and I was just like, what? Wait, so I'm not going to get paid because you declared bankruptcy, right? How does that work?
Maybe they're hiring people so that they can liquidate their inventory by selling their stuff on Amazon. I don't know, man.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what Amazon's end game is with Whole Foods. My prediction is, and they opened a distribution center in Bolingbrook a few months ago and hired like 20 or 30,000 people. And from what I understand, I've heard rumblings that they're going to open another one right here close to where I live, in my backyard. So it's weird. Yeah, they're expanding on debt. How long is it going to last? And what's the end game? Because my prediction is why would you buy Whole Foods if you're not going to put your stuff in stores? Your 20 or 100 most sellable items,
Well, I do know that Jeff Bezos is offering Whole Foods customers, discounts on Prime memberships. I do know that.
Well, and that's big report. And I was a Prime member for a while, and I canceled my membership because it was like $100 and something a year to be a Prime member. I mean, it was not a cheap membership. I mean, granted, it's comparable with what you would pay if you bought Netflix, but you have to pay that nut up front. You got to pay 1 year in advance. They don't have a monthly charge Prime membership program, to the best of my knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong, monkeys. But I couldn't afford it. It was like, that's a heavy nut for me to cover in 1 month. And now they started restricting certain items. I don't know if you've noticed this, but...
so certain items are restricted from that Prime membership?
Well, no, certain items are restricted. Here's the thing. They say free shipping for Prime members, or if your order qualifies. Like if I'm not a Prime member, if I spend 20 or 30 or 40 bucks or whatever their thing is, they'll give me free shipping on my entire order. But some items now, they lowered the price to make it the low price leader on Amazon, and they only offer that to Prime members. You have to be a Prime member to get it at that price and get free shipping.
Oh,
that I've just noticed recently.
I see.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna try and, there's too many factors which makes my spider sense tingle. Why I think he's eventually going to fail. He's like me. He's got ADD or something, because he's in 10 different directions at one time. Oh, you know what? I'll buy Whole Foods. Let's partner with Kohl's for returns. Let's give our Whole Foods customers a discount, if they're Amazon Prime members. Too many fingers and too many pies. Like his direction is divided.
You'd like to see him simplify.
I'd like to see where he's going, because I don't even think he knows where he's going. I think he's leveraging potential opportunities. And again, this is my speculation. I'm not a financial expert. I don't know. Feel free to comment, correct me, do whatever you want. But I think it's going to hurt him in the long run, because there's no focus. He's just building and consuming and moving forward. He's not announcing anything like, we're going to open a store. It's going to be a conglomerate of Whole Foods and Amazon. You're going to be able to buy food, and you're going to be able to buy dry goods. I don't know. And maybe it's fear, because maybe he is afraid of Walmart, and he should be. But then again, Walmart should also be afraid of him.
Well, I mean, he owns Walmart now. What's to fear?
No, he owns Whole Foods. He doesn't own Walmart.
Oh gosh, what am I saying? Walmart.
Yeah.
I apologize, monkeys. Little brain fart there.
Jeff Bezos buys Walmart. Look out, it's over.
Boy, maybe that was a little wishful thinking there for a moment.
Well, you never know. I mean, what is Walmart's solvency? How much money have they got? How much money are they making? Yeah,
Didn't I give you that figure in the last episode?
I don't know. With their distribution centers and connections with China, I'm sure they're making money hand over fist. But then again, we all thought the same thing about Sears way back in the day, and look what happened. So,
right.
Who knows? Who knows? But there's a great article, and we will post it on the website and on Facebook about Sears predicting Amazon's trajectory. You really got to read this because it's scary how they're going down the same path. So,
yeah.
So Jeff, if you're watching the show, if you're a monkey, which I doubt you are, you better think about where you're going and straighten up and fly right and figure it out of focus because you're headed for disaster.
Yeah. And also, we'll post an article on 22 retailers that are closing stores in 2017.
Yeah.
It's not good news.
Yeah, the internet's a scary place. Curl up in a blanket, hang out in your blanket fort with your coffee and watch our show. And then aside from that, get off the internet because the internet will kill you.
Right. Yep.
With that being said, folks.
Try not to cry too much.
Yeah, with that being said, folks, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.